Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tear apart the official blueprint for the Cisco 350-101 WCOR exam. This is the big one, the core exam you've got to pass to get your professional-level wireless certifications.
So, you're looking to get that CCNP or maybe even the CCIE Wireless certification, right? Well, this exam is a huge step on that path. So let's get into it. Let's break down exactly what Cisco expects you to know so you can build a solid plan for success.
Okay, let's dive right in. This chart, this is your roadmap. It breaks down the 7 official exam domains and shows you where the points are. You can see right away that operation and climb connectivity are the heavy hitters, each worth a fifth of the exam. But honestly, every single slice of this pie is crucial, and this is what we'll use to guide our focus.
Now, to make all this easier to digest, we're going to group the first 2 official domains, that's RF Fundamentals and 802.11 Technology, into what we're calling the Wireless Foundation. This is all about the physics and the basic rules of the road for wireless communication.
And yeah, it's a big deal. Together, these foundational topics make up a full quarter of your entire exam score. Seriously, you can't even think about passing this thing without absolutely nailing this stuff first.
So what does that really mean? It means you've got to get comfortable with how we measure and talk about radio waves. You need to really understand things like RSSI, which is just signal strength, and the super important signal-to-noise ratio, which tells you how clear that signal is. It's all about separating the good stuff from the static.
Okay, this is another absolutely critical piece of the puzzle, knowing the difference between the big Wi-Fi organizations. Just think of it like this, the IEEE. They're the engineers who write the incredibly dense technical rulebook for how 802.11 works. Then, the Wi-Fi Alliance comes along, takes that rulebook, and makes sure that a laptop from one company can actually talk to an access point from another. They make sure it all just works.
And of course, you're going to need to get your head around the tech that makes modern Wi-Fi so blazing fast. MU-MIMO is a perfect example. It's a total game changer that lets an access point talk to a bunch of different devices at the exact same time, which is essential in today's super crowded wireless world.
So we've got our foundation. Now let's build on it and get into the really practical stuff. Our second section combines the official implementation and operation domains. This is all about getting your network physically hooked up, configured, and actually running.
And whoa, pay close attention to this number, 30%. This combined section is the single biggest themed chunk of the entire exam. This is where all that theory we just talked about has to meet the real world.
A huge part of this section is knowing the main ways Cisco lets you build a wireless network. You'll need to know when it makes sense to use a modern fabric design versus, the traditional local mode with a physical controller sitting in a rack, or maybe when a cloud-managed solution is the right call.
Ah, and here it is, a classic. I can almost guarantee you are going to see this on the exam, the AP discovery and join process. You have to know these steps cold. How a brand new access point powers up, finds its controller, gets validated, downloads its config, and finally joins the network to start doing its job. Thinking about it step by step makes it way easier to remember.
All right, the network is built, it's running. So now what? Well, now we shift our focus to the most important part of any network, the people actually using it. This section is all about client connectivity and monitoring.
And would you look at that number? A whopping 35% of the exam is dedicated to this. We're combining client connectivity and monitoring because, let's be honest, a connection that isn't working well for the user might as well not exist at all, right? So it really all boils down to this. You can have the most brilliant, complex, perfectly designed backend in the world, but if the person trying to use the Wi-Fi is having a bad time, none of it matters. Zero.
So what does this mean for you?
It means you have to master the whole client journey. You'll be tested on setting up different ways for users to log in, creating secure guest networks, applying rules for what different people can and can't do, and of course, being the hero who fixes things when someone can't connect. And a huge piece of this puzzle is roaming. You have to understand this concept inside and out. It's the magic that lets someone walk down a hallway while on a Wi-Fi call without it dropping. The exam is going to expect you to know exactly how that process works and how to set it up right.
All right, last but definitely not least, let's talk about the future. This section covers where networking is headed, and this is where things get really cool, automation and AI.
Okay, so you might see that 10% and think, not a big deal. But don't sleep on this section. This is a huge signal about where the industry is going, and Cisco wants to make sure the people with their certifications are ready for it. Don't panic. They're not expecting you to be some coding genius. But you do need to be able to speak the language of modern automation.
That means looking at a basic Python script and having a clue what it's trying to do, and knowing what tools like AOPIs and models like netconf and Yang are even for.
But it doesn't just stop with scripts. Oh no, the blueprint takes it a step further, right into artificial intelligence. This is the really smart stuff.
You'll need to be up to speed on how Cisco's Catalyst Center uses AI as a brain for the network, how it uses analytics to spot problems before users even notice them, how it automates routine operations, and how it uses AI to intelligently manage the airwaves for the best possible performance.
And that brings us full circle. You master these 4 key areas: the foundation, the implementation, the client experience, and the future of automation, and you are on the direct path to passing the WLCOR exam and earning those seriously respected CCNP and CCIE Wireless certs.
Like at the end of the day, this exam does more than just test what you know right now. It's really designed to prepare you for the next generation of intelligent, automated wireless networks. So I guess the only real question left is, are you ready to be one of the people who builds it?